The first soft rays of morning sunlight filtered through the towering glass walls of Meridian Towers, casting a golden glow across the marble floors. The city was still quiet, the hum of life yet to fully awaken. In the middle of this hush, Evan Miller, a single dad and janitor, wheeled his cleaning cart down the gleaming corridors, careful not to make a sound. Today, though, something pulled him toward the private executive wing, a place strictly off-limits to employees like him. He stopped outside a polished oak door, a strange certainty settling into his chest, the certainty that crossing this threshold would change everything. Inside the office sat 29-year-old Olivia Carter, a tech billionaire who had once been unstoppable. But a car accident 2 years ago had left her paralyzed from the waist down. She had once commanded rooms with confidence, made speeches that inspired thousands, and walked stages with a poise that drew admiration. Now, behind a sleek office door, she was a shadow of herself, trapped in a world where luxury and wealth could not heal the loneliness gnawing at her spirit. Evan hesitated, taking a deep breath. He had no right to enter. He was just a man trying to survive, juggling 2 jobs, raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, alone, carrying grief that weighed him down like a permanent shadow. His wife had died suddenly from a rare illness 3 years ago, leaving him to raise Lily in their modest apartment in downtown Chicago. The janitorial job at Meridian Towers was steady and reliable, a lifeline, but it was never glamorous. He pushed open the door quietly. Olivia lifted her eyes, the chill in her gaze cutting through him like glass. Without thinking, words he hadn't planned tumbled from his mouth. "I'll help you walk." Her reaction was instantaneous, laughter, sharp and bitter, cutting through the stillness. "You're a janitor," she said softly, disbelief in every syllable. "Do you know how many world-class specialists fail to help me? What makes you think you can?" Evan met her gaze evenly. "I won't treat you like a patient," he said, his voice steady. "I'll treat you like someone worth fighting for." For the first time in years, Olivia's mask cracked. She blinked rapidly, unable to hide the tremor of emotion building in her chest. The change began slowly, almost imperceptibly. Evan didn't push. He didn't demand. He simply showed up day after day, bringing Lily with him sometimes, letting her laughter fill the sterile office. Olivia began to notice the small things, how Evan listened without judgment, how he carried himself with quiet dignity, and how he loved his daughter fiercely, despite the weight of the world on his shoulders. One morning, Lily, slightly under the weather, sat coloring at the edge of Olivia's office while Evan mopped the floors nearby. Olivia wheeled herself to the doorway, drawn by the sound of innocence and life. Lily looked up, beaming. Her smile was simple, genuine, untouched by pity, untouched by the fear that most people felt when they saw Olivia. "What's your name?" Olivia asked softly, her voice fragile. "Lily," the little girl said, holding out her drawing with pride. "Do you like flowers?" Olivia didn't answer. She stared at the drawing, then slowly wheeled back into her office. Something in that brief interaction had stirred something long buried within her. She didn't yet understand it, but she felt it, a flicker of hope. Days passed. Evan began to spend time teaching Olivia exercises he had learned while caring for his late wife during her illness. Nothing fancy, no machines, no high-tech therapy, just patience, gentle guidance, and determination. He spoke to her about resilience, about grief, about life's small joys. He reminded her that strength wasn't just in her legs, it was in her heart. And slowly, tentatively, Olivia began to move. A twitch here, a spark there, a flicker of sensation in muscles that had long lain dormant. Every small success brought tears to her eyes, tears she had thought she would never shed. One afternoon, as sunlight poured into the office, Evan steadied a support frame. "Try to lift your leg," he said gently. Olivia's chest trembled, her heart racing with fear and anticipation. She took a deep breath and, for the first time in years, felt her leg respond. Just a slight movement at first. Then another. "You did it," Evan whispered, tears threatening to spill. I didn't imagine that," she said, her voice breaking. "You didn't," he replied softly. "That was you. You did it." Weeks turned into months. Evan showed up every day. Lily's laughter continued to fill the office. And Olivia, piece by piece, reclaimed her body, her strength, and, most importantly, her spirit. The woman who had lived in silence behind closed doors now stepped shakily, yet proudly, into life again. The ultimate moment came on a bright spring afternoon. Evan guided Olivia to the parallel bars. He let go of her waist, holding his breath. Trembling, straining, every muscle screaming, Olivia rose on her own. The first step was small, but it was real. And when she collapsed into Evan's arms in tears, it wasn't just physical triumph she felt. It was the emotional release of hope, trust, and human connection. "You kept your promise," she whispered. "I kept fighting," he replied. From that day forward, Olivia wasn't just a CEO in a wheelchair. She was a woman who had faced despair and chosen to believe again. And Evan, a humble janitor, became the person who reminded her that hope can come from the most unexpected places. Their bond grew, intertwining their lives in ways neither could have anticipated. Olivia learned that strength wasn't measured in wealth, influence, or appearances. It was measured in the courage to trust, the willingness to fight, and the love that could heal even the deepest wounds. In the end, it wasn't just Olivia who stood again. It was all three of them, Olivia, Evan, and Lily, standing together, walking into a brighter future, proving that kindness, compassion, and determination could overcome even the darkest tragedies. And that sometimes the people who seem least likely to change your life are the ones who change the most. Thank you for watching Classic Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that remind us how powerful compassion truly is.